Assalamu alaikum. In our last lecture, we were discussing about uh, different dimensions and the fact tables, and we were also discussing about how can we generate the summaries from those tables and using SQL statement and using the cube clause. Now, in that statement, we discussed that different results or different combination or different summary tables can be generated. Now, if we take a look at this, the whole result, we can actually calculate different summary tables using this statement. Now, we can say that we can say that in we we can have multiple summary tables from this single result. So we can have a table that can contain all the uh, it can contain all the profits from all the departments in central region. We can put that result in a simple single table. Similarly, we can say that we can put the profit from video rental department and video sale department from each region in year 1996 in other departments. So we can have multiple summary table according to uh, this single result, and we can put that result into a multiple summary table. So we can generate multiple summary table based upon our detailed results. Or this actually we generated these summary tables from our dimension table and fact table. So our dimension table and fact tables are details, actually the raw data that we gather from transactional sources, and we bring data from transactional systems and put it into a data warehouse, and we calculate summaries using different SQL statements when we talk about Rolab. Now, there are different issues with Rolab that we will discuss in our next slides. So the first thing we discuss about is the first major issue is the space requirement for Rolab. Now, we discussed that we need actually the fact tables space, and we need to actually store dimension inside our database, data warehouse, and then we actually need to calculate a summary tables, and we need to actually store those summary tables on our hard disk. So we need to gather some space to actually store those results that we calculate using the cube clause and different group by clause statements. So if one is not careful, with the increase in the number of dimensions, the number of summary tables gets very large. So in our previous slide, we had 3 dimensions and we have one fact table, and using these 3 dimensions, and we look at the result that so this is, if we put this inside one summary table, this is one summary table, the second summary table, the third summary table, for this single row we have the 4th summary table, and for this we have 5th summary table, 6th summary table, 7th and 8th, and the total 9. So we from this 3 dimensions, we actually want to, let's say we say that we have these 3 columns, and so using these 3 columns we can actually these are 3 different dimensions, and from using 3 different dimensions, let's say, so we need actually, let's say we need 9 summary columns or summary table to store the data. So if our dimensions are increasing, our dimension tables are increasing, and in from when we take the combination to get the aggregates, we actually uh, take one hierarchy from each department, and we actually summarize data based upon these requirements. Let's say we talk about time dimension. We in time dimension, let's say we have 3 hierarchies: year, quarter and month. So these 3 columns are in hierarchies, and quarter is inside, and a month is inside a quarter, and a quarter is inside an year. So there is an hierarchy. And in our products, we have product, item, we have product category, and we have all the products. So product item is inside a product category, and product category is inside all the products. So let's say we want to say that we want to actually calculate item one's profit in all the quarters. So we will get we will actually get the results, the sales of product item 1 in all the quarters. We will get 4 values. So similarly, if we want, so we in year dimension we have 3 hierarchies, and in our product dimension we have also 3 hierarchies. So if we want to get all the summaries with different combination of these hierarchies inside dimension, we will get 6 uh, summary tables. So we get 6 summary tables with that we will, because we have three, not 6, we will have 9, because in our time dimension we have 3 hierarchies, and in our product dimension we also have 3 hierarchies. So if 3 into 3 multiplied by 9, so we will need 9 summary table to store actually all the combination and all the aggregates according to this combination, to store the data as a summary. So this line is also saying that if number of dimensions are increasing, the number of summary tables will also increase. We will look at one example and we'll see how when the number of dimension increases, how the number of summary tables are also increase, and why they are getting large. So consider the example discussed with earlier with the following 2 dimension effect table. So we have these 2 dimensions that we discussed in our lecture 15, that this dimension is saying, time dimension is saying that time has one hierarchy, day. So day comes inside a week, week inside comes inside a month, month comes inside a quarter, and quarter insides come an year, and year, and the last is all days. Similarly, we can say that from the start of our business. Similarly, the product category which has an item. So the product dimension has a first hierarchy is item. Item comes inside a subcategory. Subcategory comes inside a category, and category comes inside all the products. So the products, all the products mean all the product that we offer. Now, if we take a look at this, the number of hierarchies in each dimension. So time has 1, 2, 3, 4. So time has 6 hierarchies, and product has 4 hierarchies. So if we want to get all the combinations, so if we want to get the sales according to these 2 dimensions, we can have 24 summary tables. How can we calculate the number of summary tables? Let's say we want to calculate the sales of each day for each item. This is one summary table. Similarly, we can say that we want to get the sales of all subcategory of an item for each day. Similarly, we can say that we can calculate all the sales of each product category according to a day. Similarly, we can say that calculate the sales for all the products in each day. So for day we have 4 summary table, and similarly for week we will have 4 summary tables according to these 4 hierarchies, and for month we will have also 4. So similarly, using these dimensions and their hierarchy, we will have 24 summary tables that we will need to calculate. And we have to store that 24 summary tables to our uh, hard hard drive. Now the point here is that if we have these 2 dimensions with one with 6 hierarchies and product dimension with 4 hierarchies, we will have 24 summary tables. Let's say we include an other hierarchy which is of geography, and it has let's say 5 hierarchies and we have to calculate the results. So we have to multiply all the hierarchies, and we will get to know that if this time has 6 hierarchies, product has 4 hierarchies, and this, let's say geography dimension has 5 hierarchies, so we will have 120 summary table that we will have to calculate and store it on the hard drive. So it means that with the Rolab, if our number of dimensions are increasing, the number of summary tables will be increased. Of course, we do not need to gather all and calculate all the summary tables and store it into a hard drive, but according to theory, if the number of dimensions are increasing, the number of summary table will also increase, and we will need more storage space to actually store all the summary tables, because these summary tables will be used inside data analysis and for data reporting to the higher management. So if we take a simple look at one of the examples I'm using one of the hierarchies from the uh, uh, previous example. So this table is showing the profit of all the items, of individual items according to quarter inside each year. So let's say our business started from in 2001. These are these are the sales values for individual items, for individual products for each quarter inside in each year. So this is saying the orange juice was sold in quarter one for this number of price, and similarly orange juice was sold in quarter 2 for this number of price, and orange juice was sold in quarter 3 of 2001 with this value, and similarly orange juice was sold with this in quarter 4 with this value in year 2001. Similarly for year 2002 we are calculating this, and similarly for this all other item, all the sales values are available for all the quarters in each year. And if we take a look at this example, it is only calculating the sales value for each year of each product. Now it is not calculating according to the quarters, but it's actually calculating according to the years. So this is one summary table and this is another summary table. And if we take a look at if we go back, so it means it is calculating between, so this first summary table is between this hierarchy and this hierarchy. So quarter, so the items sales values are being calculated according to this quarter of each year, and the second summary table is for is between this hierarchy and this hierarchy, year hierarchy. So two summary tables are here, but in our next example we'll see that there is there are two summary tables that will be generated using this category hierarchy and the quarter hierarchy, and this category hierarchy and this hierarchy. So we would take a look at this thing. So now these all items belong to some category. Some belong to soda drinks and some belongs to juices. So if we take the summary table for product category and the quarters of in each year, so we'll get now the summary table is now if we take a closer look at this, the summary table is decreased because now products are shrinked into a category. So soda drinks has a sales value in quarter one this value, and juices has as sales value in quarter one of this value. Similarly, the table has shrunk because the category now the information has grown from detail to us. So the information is less detailed now in this summary table because the products are being shrunk into a category. And similarly, we can also take a look at this table, which is now products and these categories sales values are being calculated according to the year. Similarly, we can simply say that if we have n dimensions in our n hierarchies in our first dimension, and we have m hierarchies in our second dimension, we will have n into m summary tables. Similarly, we can add, so it is also saying that 24 summary tables using time dimension and the product dimension, and if we add geography dimension to the result or in our data warehouse, the summary table that we will get is 120 because we have 5 hierarchies inside our geography table. So as we discussed earlier, that if the number of dimension grows, the number of summary tables will grow according to the number of hierarchies in each dimensions. So we'll combine all the hierarchies from each dimension to the other dimensions hierarchies, and if there are n hierarchies in one dimension, there are m hierarchies in other dimension. So we will cross m dimensions, sorry, n cross m summary tables we will have to store inside our hard drive. So we'll have to, we'll have more, we'll need more space in our hard drive to store our summary tables. Now if the number of dimensions grows, uh, let's say we have n dimensions, so we will have a different combination of all the hierarchies in each dimension. So similarly we can discuss, if we discuss about these two dimensions, that time has 6 hierarchies and products have 4 hierarchies, we will have 24 summary tables. And we have, let's say we have geography dimension or demography dimension with 5 more hierarchies inside it, so we'll have actually 120 summary table that we will have to store inside our hard drive. So we'll need more space in our hard drive to actually store the summary tables. Of course, not all the summary tables are required to actually for data analysis, because some of the summary tables will be empty. So it will actually, the table will actually store, make this, actually will need the space to actually occupy the structure. So we actually need to remove all the summary tables that are not necessary for data analysis. So we'll discuss about the row lab issues in our next slide. So in this slide we discussed about all the summary table that we can generate. We looked at some of the summary tables inside here that we can generate from the previous 2 dimensions, and similarly we discussed here that if we have demography information or geography information or dimension available, we will have 120 summary table that we will have to store inside our database or in our data warehouse that is actually stored on our database. So in our next slide we will discuss about row lab issues that are being generated when we use when we actually store multiple summary tables. So these there are 4 different row lab issues that we actually encounter when we use row lab as a data warehouse technique to store our data. So what is the maintenance issue? Actually when we talk about the summary tables, we actually need to store it inside our data warehouse, and storage is not an issue, because when we talk about data warehouse we're actually talking about more space to occupy the data. But we need to maintain that the summary tables. Maintenance is actually, we need to actually maintain all the records. Actually we need to look at that that there are no missing entries inside the data inside a summary table. And similarly notice that the summary tables get much smaller as dimension get less details. Now if we talk about time dimension, in time dimension we talk about different hierarchies. So we have let's say an year hierarchy and a day hierarchy, and let's say in our previous slide we discussed about then when we actually took the combination of product category and the year, there were only 2 entries for a single year, because we have 2 product categories, sodas and juices, and in year we had 2 entries for these 2 categories for a single year 2001. But when we talk about a day, we know that in a year we have 365 days. So for each year, so for each day we will have to maintain two category values or 2 category profits. So if we talk about soda drinks and juices, there are 2 categories, but when we want to show the sales of each day for an year for these 2 categories, we will have for each year for each day and for two categories we will have 2 values. But for all 365 days, let's say we will have 365 into 2, we will have double values of 365. So it means that we will have around more than 700 values inside a single table. So this is saying that if a summary table is generated on a less detailed hierarchy of a dimension, the number of values inside it are less. But when we make a summary table based upon a more detailed hierarchy of a dimension, we will have more values. So we need to actually the number of summary, so the size of summary table should be large enough that it is stored multiple values so that we can show it inside our data analysis. So the second point is, should plan for twice the size of the unsummarized data for row lab summaries in most environments. So this statement is saying that the size of the summary should be the twice of the unsummarized data. That it means that if we have summarized data of 1 GB, we should unsummarized data of 1 GB. The total summary should be of around the half of the size of the half of the size of more than half of the size of the unsummarized data. It means that when we have lesser summaries, we will not get more detailed results from the data. So to get more detailed results or more summaries from the data, we will have summaries much larger than a very small table, but the size of the total summary table should be the half of the unsummarized data that we have available in the data warehouse. Now, when we say that we will store the data day wise of a product category, and we will store the data of the week wise of product category. Now we are loading data inside a data warehouse on a daily basis, so we will have to update the summary table that is being generated based upon a week hierarchy of time. So even if we have a we have a summary table based upon the month, and data is being loaded into data warehouse on daily basis, so we have to actually update the summaries that are actually based upon a month hierarchy of a dimension. So in the total maintenance issue, we actually have to we need to maintain the summary table in a way that the summary table should be large enough, it should not be so small, and similarly we will have to update the data on a regular basis if the data where aggregate should have to remain in an updated state. But the principal rule of the data warehouse principle is that data can be updated on a regular basis or on a periodic basis. Periodic basis means we can update the data on monthly basis, and we can update it on a weekly basis. But in some cases, we have to, like in telecommunications industry, we have to update data on daily basis. So when we update data on daily basis, we have to actually update most of the summary tables. So the first issue of the roll up is we have to maintain our summary tables. The first thing is we should not have a summary table that is very small, and the second thing is we need to actually update all the summaries based upon all the we have to update all the summaries based upon how are we updating our data warehouse so how we are actually updating the data based upon periodically are updating the data, or actually we are updating the data on the daily basis. In both the cases, we have to update all the summary table that are involved in some kind of updation. The second roll-up issue is conventions. So conventions are not absolute. Explain what is calendar year, what is a week. Now there are different definitions of a calendar year or a week. Let's say some companies say our calendar starts from 1st January and it ends on the 31st October. Some are saying that our calendar year starts from 1st July and ends on 30 June. And some are saying that our calendar year starts from 1st September and goes to the 30 August. Even in a single organization, if there are multiple departments, these departments can actually work with different calendar year definitions. So when they share different reports, when a department that is working with this calendar year definition, when it shares the reports on 31st December to the another department, the other departments actually works with their own definition, which is this definition. So it will have different, it will consider different values for sales or profits other than this department. Now this department which was considering this definition has made the report on this definition of calendar year, but this, the department that is using this definition will actually consider that report based upon this calendar year. So he will get different values of sales based upon this calendar year's value, and this department will have to consider different will create different report based upon its own definition of calendar year. Now the two departments are in conflict, so the higher management should be involved to actually resolve the issue, and they should actually define a single definition of, even in a single organization, even for a week. If we talk about in Pakistan, different industries work with different definition of week. Some work with Monday to Friday. Some have a definition of Monday to Saturday. Some definition have a Sunday to Friday, Sunday to Thursday. And similarly in Gulf, we have a definition of week from Monday to Sunday to Thursday. So we have different conventions that are available, and according to this dimension, when we create, the organization actually generate report and send the report to other organization. They actually consider that report according to their definition of week or calendar year. So the problem here becomes is that they do not have a clear definition of a calendar year. And similarly, when we build a data warehouse, every organization considers its own definition of their calendar year and week. So when they put data inside the data warehouse and they create reports according to their definition that are not matching to the other organization with they share reports of their own of their data. So the conflict becomes here is actually, so they consider different values of sales according to their definition of calendar year and calendar week. So organization should be clear when they share reports. They should be clear on these conventions that are being used inside a report. The other roll-up issue is storage space explosion. When we talked about summary tables, we talked about the hardware space, actually hard disk space we need to actually occupy for the summary tables. So when now this statement is saying the summary table is required for non-standard grouping. Now suppose a data warehouse is built and there are summary tables that are decided that these summary tables should be built. But if an event comes inside a country, let's say we talk about an Independence Day, we need extra summary table to actually store the data for a specific event. Let's say we want to get the sales on sales of a product on an Independence Day. Now on Independence Day, most companies put flag symbol on their boxes or on their products, and the CEO want to see that how number of sales are affected by using this symbol on a product. So we in that case number of summary table also increase. And so apart from all the pre-decided aggregate tables or summary tables, data warehouse data warehouse developer will need to build more summary tables to actually gather the more specific data that is required by the CEO. So we need more summary table. Similarly, summary table required along different definitions of year, week, and etc. Similarly, when we talked about different hierarchies of a time dimension, we also said that we need to actually get all the combinations of all the hierarchies inside around along the dimensions. So when we combine all the dimensions along the hierarchy, we combine all the hierarchies inside a dimension, we actually create more summary tables. With the increase in the summary tables, we need more space, and similarly when we need more space, somehow at some point the space becomes diminished, so we need to actually get more space from the system. We actually need to actually delete some resources from the data warehouse, which is not a good practice. So similarly, this line is saying that brute force approach would quickly overwhelm the system storage capacity due to a combinational explosion. Now when we have 3 dimension with 120 summary table, we need more space. But if the number of dimension, let's say, grows to 20, and each dimension has 10 hierarchies, so if we have 20 dimension, we have 10 hierarchies, we will need let's say if we would multiply 10 into 10 times, so if in our 10 dimensions, let's say in our 20 dimensions, each dimension we have 10 let's say we have 10 10 hierarchies. So if we combine two hierarchies with uh, with with hierarchies of 10, so we'll need 100 tables to actually combine the sum. Actually we need to 10 into 10 100 summary table to actually combine only two dimensions, and we have 20 dimensions, so we need 10 raised to the power 10 summaries table to actually to store all the summary table and their data. And if we have these number of dimensions with too many hierarchies, we will need more storage space and more summary table to store, so we'll need more storage data, storage space in our hard disk, which will actually lead to uh, the limit of the storage, and we will need more space to store the summary tables.